Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another late night show. Maybe I need to start my own late night show. Be the next Jay Leno, or something like that. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't, because this is once again past my bloody bedtime. But still getting this done, even though I've been fighting myself all day about it. It's funny. I know that I'm supposed to do this, but my brain stops me from doing it. Kind of pretend that I'll do it later, and the fact that I think that I don't have time to do it in the morning. It's interesting watching my brain make excuses for it, and still making excuses for it. So here we are, paying the price for my past poor decisions because of my ADHD ultimately. So well and truly bedtime, but we're still doing this video, and maybe that's what this video should be about. I had the intention of recording the topic I was going to talk about last night, but then I kind of indirectly started talking about my ADHD and went on a little bit of an ADHD tangent. So, welcome to the life of executive dysfunction, and that is a very real thing. That's science. So, for all you people who say ADHD is nothing, executive dysfunction is very much real. But we all get it, and ADHD in itself may or may not actually be real. A lot of people may have the symptoms of ADHD simply because of trauma, because of past life experiences, good or bad. Our addiction to mobile phones and technology is another way that we ultimately get the symptoms of ADHD, and because of all of that, you can also cure yourself of ADHD. So, ADHD rant. There you go. So, welcome to an introduction of my ADHD, or my ADHD symptoms, if you believe it's real or not. And if you believe it's real or not is completely up to you. And that's kind of the subject that I was going to talk about last night, and that is truth. Truth is relative. Truth is subjective. Truth is perspective, and that is from your perspective. And for me to illustrate how truth is about perspective, how truth is relative, there is an analogy that of these blind people, and there are 4 blind people all holding onto or touching an elephant. There is one touching the trunk, there is one touching its leg, there is one touching its tummy, and there is one blind person touching its tail. Now, to each of those blind people, how do you think that they are going to describe an elephant? The one on its trunk would certainly react saying it's long and hard. Hopefully it's got its trunk, or its front trunk at least. But imagine how that blind person would describe an elephant to them if they'd never seen or experienced one before. Well, obviously they haven't seen it because they're blind. But then there's another one that would grab its leg, and it'd be able to wrap its arms around its leg, and that person would describe it a particular way. Then the one touching its belly would be hugging its belly or touching it or whatever, however you imagine that blind person to touch an elephant's tummy. Then the person on the tail would probably grab it and then say that it's hairy, depending on where it's touched its tail. So for each of those blind people, they are technically describing their truth of what an elephant is to them. But none of them have the full story of what the elephant actually is. So for them, their truth is 100% true. That is their truth. But then there is the fundamental truth. And the fundamental truth is the elephant is all of that and so much more. And the moral of this story is that we only get to perceive this world in the way that we see it as our own truths. And for us, that is essentially our fundamental truth. But there is a big, grander, fundamental elephant out in the world. And the issue is we think that our truth is the whole elephant, but it's not. We're merely holding on to the tail, the trunk, a tusk, a leg, its rear trunk. And we believe that our truth as we perceive it is the whole truth. Oh, that was a tongue twister. But I hope you kind of understand what I'm trying to get to here. The issue that we have is because we see our truth, our perspective of truth as the full truth, that then we get caught up in that story that we are telling ourselves that is the fundamental truth. So many truths here. I hope you're keeping up, because I'm not. But if we can take a step back, open our eyes and not become blind, then we can actually start to perceive the truth that is everything, the whole entire elephant. That's what you open up your awareness to. And that is simply a decision away. Like, you know, if you can remove yourself objectively from the story that you're telling yourself, you can start to perceive the whole elephant in the room. So be it. And what you start to realize when that happens is the fact that you are merely only observing the part of you that is touching a particular part of the elephant. And you start to realize that you actually can perceive the whole elephant. That whole elephant is the universe, and we are a part of it. We are just getting the absolute pleasure to experience only part of the elephant, and that is our purpose, is to truly understand and feel what it is to be us. That went somewhere that I wasn't expecting either. Be interesting listening back to that, because in those rants sometimes especially when my mind is running, like it very clearly is right now, I'm very, very fidgety. I do notice that. Could come from a lot of nerves, I guess, for recording this video. My housemate's partner is in the other bedroom, and I still get awkward doing this sort of stuff, even though they know that I do this. So, yeah, I could also be very nervous, and hence why I'm more distracted. High levels of stress. That is probably what it is. And that's a story for another day, is stress and how stress is killing us. But for now, that is about 10 minutes. I am bloody tired and need to go to bed. It's after 9 o'clock, so well and truly bedtime. Back to gym tomorrow, reluctantly. Then off to one of my gym mates' houses for a hungy, and I am so fucking excited for that. So, that's it. We're off. Right, finally. Good night, people. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. If you have made it this far, say pink hippopotamus, say pink elephant. Say pink elephant if in the comments section, or send it to me, or whatever it might be, if you have made it this far. Thank you for tuning in. I love you all. Good night, much love, and namaste.